Hello everybody, this is my GemTD setup, so it's not that much different than the suggestions, but I don't think this spot here is a good one to use, because if you switch them over here, then when they come through here, you have a gap between here and then when they activate again, so you're getting two basically passes at the line instead of just one long pass where you're spreading your damage out. Also, this is without Ferres or Gelu because I don't like them. I have like 2 or 3 stars on both of them. I'm not interested in doing the same cookie cutter setup as everyone else. I know they're the best for most things, or at least Gelu is the best for most things, and Ferres is really good for the Cyclops, which I'm already past. Now, a couple of notes with this. This right here and this right here are your best spots to slow them or freeze them, because everyone can hit. On this side, not everyone, he's missing, but on this side, this one, everyone can hit there. I'm kind of doing this sloppy because these ones after the Cyclops until the Charge Knights are all super easy, so I'm not really worried about it. Aside from that, you're probably looking at Aladdin and going, why on earth would you use Aladdin? And it's because once he gets full, give me 1 second here, you'll be able to see Celeste basically, they died too quickly. Let's see if I can get through the next one real quick. It basically freezes them into place when you speed up Celeste. The big disadvantage to having Aladdin is the Charge Knights. He doesn't get his power charged up fast enough to actually get it off versus them the second time around. That's map 24, which is coming up. But yeah, so another thing with having him here is he starts slowing in the beginning. He can also reach, not with this, but with his 2 gauge, he'll reach this square and this square, which is important because otherwise he'll just be sitting there looking like an idiot with a full 2 gauge if you have him in most spots that aren't there. I'm trying not to overkill him. So with Lego, his 1 gauge does more damage. His 2 gauge might do a little bit more damage, but it's basically the same. It's just the 2 gauge ends up getting what do you call it? A stun effect. I use 2 gauge only versus Cyclops and the Charge Knights. Okay, so hopefully you can see this here. So unless Celeste pulls her passive right there, they're basically frozen. And if you do it on this side, they're almost always frozen. Like, because both of these guys are hitting, and then he chips in with his thing that slows down. Now, like I said, I'm being sloppy because I'm talking and doing this. But these guys you don't really have to worry about. So normally Xana's always 1 gauge no matter what. You just get more damage and freeze out of that. He's always 2 gauge because you get so much more freeze. The most damage possible for Queen, I believe, is always 1 gauge. You don't want to 2 gauge, especially since you have to find a gap in the time for her to actually do it. Otherwise, she's wasting time that she could be attacking on the ground as well. Celeste is always 2 gauge. Aladdin's always 2 gauge. There's actually a glitch, I believe, where his 1 gauge in this mode doesn't work. So yeah, Lego's the only one where I alternate between both 1 and 2 gauge. Otherwise, it's all pretty straightforward. I'm going to experiment at the end of this. I'm not going to make the video that long, so it uploads pretty quick. With trying the Mirth magical skill to power up him to see if I can get past 24. When facing the Cyclops, if you don't execute correctly, occasionally one or two will get through. You'll still make it past that map, and after that you don't need that much health until the charge knights. But yeah, executing versus them. Also, I only do this on the days where elf has an extra damage, 20% damage. So that, because 1, 2, 3 of them are elves, so that helps a lot. Dungeon, it can work, but then I normally don't get through 16 unscathed. So you see Queen's doing the bulk of the damage here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my setup. Okay, I love you, bye bye.